Hello, gamers! Welcome to Gamers Galaxie Special Edition GOG, that is Guild of Guardians. Today, we are going to talk about the premium banner that is going on right now. You say tomato, I say tamamo. But before we get to that hot topic, Woody, how are you doing today, my friend?
Doing great, WT. I'm happy to be back.
Do you like my stupid little joke there, tomato?
It was great. Yes, it was great. We'll see what the community. I'm sure the community will tell you straight up what they think.
I'm gonna get a big thumbs down. I have a feeling, but yeah, this premier banner is out in the game right now, and they just started the sale for Tamamo. What is your thoughts on all this going on right now?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm just gonna call her Tammy for short.
Okay.
Because that's an approved GOG term. I don't know about you. I've been playing gacha games for a long time on mobile. And, it's been a love-hate relationship where I can't help myself, but at the same time, it's very self-destructive to pull on gacha banners all the time. So I kind of like the alternative that we're being presented, even though it's a big price tag, right? So you can either buy these $35 prayers, or you can buy these $140 prayers. This is all USD. And then it's a one-shot thing. It's not like pulling 20 times and then missing all of them and hating your life. Mm-hmm. It's like one and done, or however many you can afford to buy. So I think that's a refreshing sort of change of pace, right? It's still kind of gacha, but you can sort of play around. You can add some epics and a legendary to that to boost your chance up to 80%. Like when you compare it to the odds in the game, like check out the banner odds in the in-game banner. Your chance to pull her is 0.2% on a regular pull, and if you get to 30 pulls, the soft pity system comes in. Do you know what a soft pity is?
No, I don't.
I assume sometimes. No, okay. So it's in gacha soft pity. So there's a soft pity and a hard pity. A hard pity is that after a certain number of pulls, you're guaranteed to get the character you want.
Okay.
A soft pity means that you will get a legendary or whatever the highest tier of character, but it's still random, so you're not necessarily going to get it. And so the banner has a soft pity, so after 30 pulls, you have a 1 in 4 chance, so a 25% chance of pulling her. So if you kind of weigh the two out, like what's the best bang for your buck, right? To do 30 pulls in the game costs you $240 Canadian. So that probably works out to, I don't know, I'm going to say around $200 US or something like that.
Okay.
And then compare that to $150 for an 80% chance of pulling her. It's kind of like, okay. And yeah, I get it. You can also luck out and maybe pull like a few epics along the way and whatever. But, value-wise, those epics aren't worth a whole lot. So no. Really, if you think about it, like, I think that's maybe on purpose from the team, because they're trying to push people towards the Web 3, right? And I think if you're a Web 2 player listening and you haven't really tried, to kind of dip your toes in that pool of the like crypto and Web 3 game and blockchain and all this is really sort of that call. If you want Tamamo, she is much cheaper to get at the altar than trying to pay money to chase her on the banner, especially since you have to then ascend her, and that's a whole other thing where you have to buy the ascension seals and so it just makes her more expensive to get to the same point as if you had pulled her to the altar. So all in all, I think that I'm sure there's going to be criticisms about it, and the thing is, like, it's 80%, but if you're in the 20%, it sucks. Gacha sucks when it fails, no matter what the format is. It's just brutal. So that's just the reality of it. But I think it's a great event, and it's really configured in a way to showcase the value of Web3 as opposed to the traditional way of pulling on banners to get characters.
Yeah, and they're kind of pioneering this, so I'm sure they're gonna look at this, evaluate it, and tweak it. But what I do want to talk about is bang for your buck on Tammy here. I'm from what I read, she's basically going to be a controller type character, right? So right away, I'm like, okay, this is an arena player all day long, in my opinion. So depending what they do with the reward system going through, if you're going to be an arena player going for those rewards on the leaderboards, this is almost a must-have, unless she absolutely sucks, which we don't know yet. But don't you think this is a must-have for arena?
I don't know, man. It's, so Arena is a format where it's all about active skills.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wrote a post right before, so the day before the launch, I wrote a post on my blog. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's about Tamamo, and we're just kind of working through her skills and seeing how she can fit into those different game modes. With Arena, Allure works on male characters. Most of the male characters are tanks or warriors, so they're not really about the damage output. The ones who are really going to take you out are Darizda, Leah, Juno, the really high DPS characters that are just going to annihilate you, and they're not affected by it. And then her ultimate is really the big move that just stuns everybody for 4 seconds. But in Arena, you don't often get to the point where a character survives long enough being shot at by Darizda, and then B charges up their ultimate.
Okay.
So I don't know. I haven't tested her yet though. So maybe I think you're right. Like if you can get to a point where you protect her long enough for her to use her move, and you have like another control character like Morax, who's also stunning the opposition regularly, yeah, it could be like pretty dominating. Because what do? You can't do anything.
Right.
Against an opponent who's just, and then and if you throw in like an Aurora or something like that, who can just flat out freeze other enemies as well and kind of pile it on, then yeah, it could get pretty deadly in Arena. I think where she's gonna be sort of a non-factor is in boss rush, just because bosses are immune to mind control effects.
Right. Exactly.
So there, yeah, and she doesn't have a really high DPS move in her kit either.
Yeah.
So
for the reason why I brought that up is you're paying the lesser cost by buying her directly from the store with the better prayer, but that could translate into earnings depending on how she's able to be used in the leaderboard events. And for full transparency's sake, I bought the lesser prayer just because I wanted to participate once, so I spent the $35. I got 2 epics, like I got Hearn, and so like I basically lost money because those sell for like $4. But whatever.
Yeah.
I did it just to participate because Immutable has a history of when you participate,
Exactly.
sometimes they give you little kickbacks in IMX tokens. So I'm crossing my fingers. It's a side prayer on the prayer that I failed on that maybe I'll get a kickback. Maybe that's not for sure, but that's why I do that stuff. And who knows? Yeah. I might go get her. We'll see. But any final thoughts on this before? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, well, and I was just going to say that's why I bought Ascension Seals. So I bought the cheapest Ascension Seal package just because they might airdrop something to you never know.
I did the same thing.
No, I would say, what, like, if you do have, because this is something I talk about in my content quite a bit, is, save up your orange crystals. Don't just, like, spend them as soon as you get them. And obviously that's your best scenario. If you've paid nothing and you're just pulling on the premium banner in the game, even though the odds are terrible, that's probably your best scenario to get her, is you get her for free from having saved up these crystals, or maybe you bought the package deals and then you ascend her and do whatever, So definitely take advantage of that before you go to the altar and pay $150, or start buying up the orange crystals for like $80 for 10. So there are ways to get her without. And the other thing we have to see is whether she'll rotate to the premium banner. And after seeing her kit and just kind of thinking about it, I think there's a good chance she might, right? Because I don't think she's necessarily above a Tianlong. Right, and Tianlong will rotate to the free banner, so the one with the blue crystals. So that's something to look forward to, right? Again, if you're saving up your free crystals, that's another way to get these characters, even though you're maybe priced out as a free-to-play or a budget player from DJ. So this is really for folks who want her now. I do content, so I want her now, so that's why I got her at that price point.
Awesome. Great information there. If you're not following Woody, definitely check him out on X. I've got his address there right below him. And if you're not in the Gamers Galaxy Discord, you need to get in there. We got all kinds of things coming up. We got a new sponsorship going to happen here real soon with new rewards for our community. But you have to be in our community to find out and participate. And make sure you check us out on X as well. I want to thank you all for tuning in today. We'll be back next week with more content for GOG. Everybody take care. Bye-bye now.